That was Troop, Spread My Wings. So, of course, we were all greeted with the news of Kevin Samuels passing. And it's interesting because we had just the previous week on Wednesday, we had one of the DLQs we did was about the last statement that I was aware that he made. One of the things broadcast he performed was when he said that basically if you're 35 years old and you're not married, you are a leftover, which is indicative of the kind of things that he used to say. As a matter of fact, when I first heard of him, I was with my road manager, and he was listening to something he said, and it struck me as cruel and unnecessary. And subsequently, I've heard a lot of things that had come out that seemed to have that same tone. And so, when he died, I felt really bad because I thought, even in death, that some of the comments were just so vitriolic and so acrimonious. I thought that they didn't necessarily fit the crime. I thought that it was just unnecessarily cruel. The man had run his race. Everything was over. He wasn't a rapist or a murderer or a child molester or anything of that sort. But whatever he did, it stirred up these strong feelings and vitriol. So I was talking to a frat brother of mine, and I wanted to do something, to say something. So I was talking to him about, how I felt. And he was telling me that eulogy, the Latin word eulogy means to speak well of. Not to add, not to detract, but to speak well of. So with that in mind, I'd gone on social media to look at whatever I could to find something that was good to say. And I can say this, that mostly everything I saw in terms of his profile was always well-produced pictures and him wearing sunglasses and looking cool and well-dressed, but nothing personal. I remember I sent out a tweet and I said that R. Kelly would get warmer condolences than Kevin Samuels was getting, which I thought was out of line. I thought that, the punishment didn't necessarily fit the crime. And somebody on Twitter said, well, R. Kelly made people feel good too. He wasn't just what he did. So in death, what you have are two things: how people made you feel and how you remember them. And I think that Kevin Samuels was an amalgamation. His profile, his social media presence was designed to do one thing, and that was to forward an image. It seems like this is the one that he was comfortable with people having of him. And that seems sad to me. The way that we've learned of his death, it took 24 hours before anybody could confirm it. What that tells me is that either nobody cared or knew how to get in contact with somebody. It is a shame that happened. Cut your phone off for 24 hours and see how many calls you get. See how many people are checking for you. See if they're worried about you. And if that's not the case, I would submit that you're not living right. I would submit that you need to change something. Kevin Samuels was a human being. I think it's a shame when any human being dies. But all you left when somebody dies is what they left you, the memories. Either some are good or some are bad. But you have, in totality, the totality of the person. You get to say who they are. You get a pretty broad picture. I'm this and I'm that. It seemed with Kevin, he wanted to be perceived as this thing. Now, I can't say that he was a bad man. I know he played one on social media. I can't say that he was a cruel man. I know he played one on social media. It was a shame when you go on, and Kevin Samuels, it took 24 hours, of certainly a very long time, to confirm his death. And he didn't die on a foreign road. He didn't die in a foreign country with remote access. He died in the very city that he was born and raised in. He died in the company of a woman he just met, apparently. He died at a hospital he probably drove by, which was, minutes away from where he lived. And he died with no significant outpouring. Like I'm looking through social media, and I'm looking at posts, and I'm looking at even the way that articles that do come out are worded. They seem benign and antiseptic. I don't see anybody saying, we lost a real one, or please respect our privacy at times like this, or we're going to miss you, or rest it. Like none of that. It seems to be vitriolic. I don't subscribe to the notion that there is black women are leveling karma, because I would say that if that were true, then there would be a whole lot less baby daddies. But I think that you do get what you give. You get what you give. And if that was negativity, that will happen in death. And that's sad. Because to die alone, nobody can identify you. Paupers die like that. Homeless people die like that. The people who society has rejected die like that. Not a man with millions of followers and a high value man, as he coined the phrase. It is sad that that happened. It is sad that his death is being met with a collective yawn and acrimony. It is sad. But when you die in an apartment in the company of a stranger, in the very city you were born and reared in, minutes away from the very hospital you drive by every day, that says a lot about how you lived. That says a lot about how you were perceived. People need to miss you, but to miss you and to speak fondly of you, they need to give you memories that are fond. I will learn that lesson. I will take away from this, and I'm very sorry for his family. I'm very sorry for what the people that did love him, even though I think in society at large we don't know a lot about them. I'm very sorry for that. But I am sorry that if this was not who he truly was, I'm sorry that this is how he'll be remembered. I've learned a lot. And one thing, you got to give people something to miss. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.